Hey everyone, we are about a week into the coverage here in Europe, in Berlin, and I'm joined by Drew right now, who, if you don't know, he's kind of a personal assistant of sorts for me on these trips.
Producer, I'd say shooter, editor.
Really, I feel like I'm producing the content because that's what I do, what a producer does, where I plan everything out and I book the trips.
Yeah,
I decide on the content.
And by the way, if you try to ask Travis about a plan for a day, he'll get really upset because he'll be like,
You can't plan worlds. You never know what's going to happen.
I guess so.
We are currently on day 3 of World Swiss, and we do not have an interview for today's match. And so I thought we would just sit down and talk a little bit about the trip and what has surprised us and what our expectations are and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
First off, had a really great time so far in Berlin. Had a really successful asset day or media day. Those are the days before the games start where you get access to all the players. And so some of you have seen some of the videos that we've been putting out there. I asked Drew to come up with some fun questions in addition to the surprise test stuff that we've been working on. So that's where you've seen perhaps already what's your favorite beer, what's your favorite anime. We have a couple more. But no, it's been good. What have you thought so far?
I've liked it a lot. In the first couple days, my biggest thing, I guess, is food. The first couple days, I wasn't the most thrilled about food here because I'd never had European food. And so I mostly just had like mashed potatoes and sausage. But in the past couple days, I've had some great food. I had the best breakfast of my life the other day. Travis took me. It was delicious.
A place called Benedict.
Called Benedict. If you guys are in Berlin, check it out.
Yeah. Well, the most important thing to you might be food, but the most important thing to me have been these games. Because that's why we're actually here, which is the world stuff. And I would say that so far, there have not been that many upsets.
No. There have been a bunch of close to upsets. Yeah. And then...
Yeah. LNG, the LNG game just finished a little bit before this against DK, and they did beat DK, which I believe many people did not have as many expectations for LNG going into this event. And I do think that like some of the ways that the groups have broken have been a little interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I will say that I think North America's kind of underperforming my expectations.
Yeah, it's tough because I think Team Liquid has not gotten the best luck when it comes to the draw.
Yeah.
Except for tomorrow's games. Not in 2 days they're playing.
Yeah, they're playing on Monday.
Yeah, they're playing against PNG, which hopefully they win that. I think it would be very, very depressing if they don't. But yeah, I think it's been tough for them because they've been going against these Eastern teams and they've been performing very well in the beginning of the game. And then just it seems like at each team fight, at each moment where they just need to like execute, they mis-execute.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking.
For me, the most brutal moment I think was the FlyQuest series yesterday.
Yeah.
Where they were climbing their way back in. They started with a huge deficit and I was like, oh yeah, here we go. This is what I'm used to seeing. And then they climb right up until the moment where they get a gold lead for the first time in the entire game, and then they just immediately start hard throwing afterwards.
Yeah, I think Masu had a lazy back.
Yeah, recall.
Yeah, lazy recall, and there was warded on the brush that he was on. Then he gets caught.
And then I think Whippo died right after.
Yeah, and then just like a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
And then we were no longer winning.
So I think the question I have for you, Drew, is will North America bounce back from this?
My hope is yes.
I'm not asking for your hope.
So I think I struggle with this because I am a huffer of hopium, as they've said. Because I am a strong believer that every year we are getting better. I don't know by how much, but by the time that we get here, it feels like we can actually make a difference. Team Liquid has had so much hype leading up to these performances. And so my expectation is that Team Liquid will at least get to a couple best of threes.
Okay.
Right? Like, I think they'll beat PNG and then beat another team. I think that Liquid will get to the point in which they are playing a best of 3 to qualify.
Yes.
I don't know if they'll qualify, but I think they'll be able to run the gauntlet up to there. I also think that FlyQuest is against PSG. I expect them to win. I mean, if you look at that group and that bracket, we really lucked out because there's like Top Esports, T1, BLG, a couple others. I think it would have been fun if they would have gone against Fnatic because you got the EU versus NA. We're not going to be there for the second round of Swiss, and so it would be, it'd be fun to cover some rivalry stuff. But I do think that FlyQuest should win that, and then FlyQuest should be able to contend. I think maybe they lose the first best of 3, and they win the second, and they make it.
Yeah, I feel as though we should still be able to get one of these North American teams out, maybe both.
Yeah.
So I'm still optimistic. The other reason I'm optimistic is because I think that even though they are losing, both FlyQuest won their first game, right? But even in their losses, I don't feel as though Team Liquid or FlyQuest look completely lost. Like, I think that these look like teams that should be competitive with the other teams that they are facing, and the matches are good. So I have some confidence that they'll be able to go back. So I have not lost hope yet, despite, I know, the haters in the comments that will suggest that it's all copium.
Yeah, I'd also say, like, we had an interview with APA, and if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's on the channel. But when we talked to him, it was after day 1, and last year, we had an interview with APA where he was just absolutely crushed. We didn't even end up posting it. Members only. Become a member today if you'd like.
I think, it is a members only video, so you can go back and watch a salty APA interview.
It's truly, it was like 2 minutes long,
Yeah.
and it was just depressing to watch. But then this year, we just had an interview with him, and he seemed generally like in a good mindset.
Yes.
He
On the
seemed
other
to be-
hand,
yes.
that was day 1.
Day
Then
two-
day 2, we did an interview with Core where he seemed mentally demolished.
Core did not seem too happy.
Yeah.
But I will say I did also hear APA having an interview, and he still sounded like he was happy.
Yeah, he's
or at least
resilient.
in good. He's resilient. Yes.
Yeah. We'll see what ends up happening. In terms of other content that we have, I have been releasing a ton of content onto the channel. And so what happens is YouTube often does not share all of this with you because whenever you release 5 or 6 videos on a single day, what YouTube wants to do is really only show you like 1 in your feed or suggest 1 to you. And so if you have missed out, there's a lot of other content that's probably on the channel that you haven't seen yet. And I know people get angry whenever I release videos over time, or they're like, oh, this is from a couple days ago. Part of that is because, I mean, you can go look, like I released a humanoid interview at the end of, I think it was like the 5th interview I did within a 24-hour period, and like, it's probably one of the lowest viewed videos on the channel. I don't think that's because of humanoid or because of the quality of the interview. I think it is just because YouTube does not like it whenever, it stops telling people that there's a video for them to go watch. So I'd go click over to the videos and see what is up on the channel. We also have some really fun shorts that I've been posting to TikTok and Twitter and YouTube shorts, which those will eventually get amalgamated together. But that's that stuff that we were talking about at the beginning of the video here, where we were discussing these kind of fun videos that we've been doing with the players, where we're asking them their favorite beer or favorite anime, or I think we also have favorite TV show and some other really interesting ones coming up. So stay tuned for all that. Also, shout out to Prize Picks, because they have sent us over here. So this video and the rest of our Worlds coverage is sponsored by Prize Picks. Go check them out. There's a link in the description. You can use my code Travis. It's a really cool thing where basically you get to create lineups of events that you think are going to occur. So APA is going to get more than 3 kills in a game, or you'll see maybe a couple of players on T1 who you think might get less than 7 assists in a game, or something along those lines. You can go check it out. You create these lineups, you place $5 on that, and then you maybe end up winning or losing in that. So it's kind of a fun thing that they have going. And there is a Discord channel on my Discord if you guys want to check out. You can ask questions on how it all works there, or if you want to learn a little bit more of that. And people make their plays, they post their plays there as well. So it's kind of a fun thing that we're doing. Other than that, we will be back in LA at the end of, in a couple days. And so once that happens, we'll be creating some other content. I'm going to try to get in some off-season stuff. I know that there's some off-season rumors that have already been sparked. So looking forward to all of that. Drew, what would you say?
Thank you to Prize Picks. As we've said, I'll also say, I said it before, but become a member today if you'd like to. You get some exclusive content.
That is a thing. Yes, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, if you get frustrated with me having to wait to release these videos because of the YouTube algorithm, I do just make them all available for members. And that's not some Like, I wish I could just slam them all onto the channel and have them all succeed. This is not, I'm not trying to gate it to try to like trick people into it. It's just literally you can look at the evidence of how this works on the channel.
Yeah.
But you do for just $2.99, you can just see all of them right now.
Yeah, and I am busting my chops every day when we're at the studio. I'm shooting and then busting my chops. I'm working really hard. I'm shooting interviews and then going immediately editing them and then doing thumbnails and everything. And so like it would make me very happy if a bunch of people check those out, because then I'd feel like, you know, the work, the fire that Travis lights under me is going to good use.
Oh, the other thing is I'm going to be doing some kind of Worlds preview / recap shows with some friends over the next couple weeks when I get back. Those will also be sponsored by Prize Picks. We'll probably put them either on Twitch, or I might try like Discord stages. Is that a thing? Are they called stages?
I'm not sure.
I've never done like the whole let's stream on Discord to a bunch of people thing, but we might be trying that. So regardless, we will be doing those shows. So stay tuned for all of that whenever we do get back. So it's not like when I get back, the World's coverage ends. And I'm going back for finals. Drew won't be there, but I will be there. So stay tuned for all that. But thank you so much for everyone who has been tuning in and watching all the coverage we've been doing over in Berlin. We've been over here for about a week now, and yeah, it's been a really fun time. Worlds is great. I love being over here. So thanks everyone who supports me, because without you, we wouldn't be over here.
Thank you.